10 years ago, my family and went to a pet store. In that store, we could observe a puppy. Today, my dog has accompanied us to live in 3 different cities. 4 years ago, when my family and I lived in Zacatecas, my father told us that because of this work, we will have to leave the city. 3 years ago, when we lived in Mazatlan, after a complicated process of adaptation, my father informed us that we will leave the city again. 2 years ago, after another complicated adaptation process, we lived very happy in the city of Monterrey. 3 months ago, I started a new stage in my life. I managed to go to high school, and although it is a bit complicated, I feel happy to continue learning.
When I was little, once I was at the house of my aunt Diana, who had a dog named Dolly. I saw her and I wanted to take her home, but obviously they wouldn't let me. My uncle told me that he would give me a puppy later. I did not believe him, but after a few days he came to my house with a chihuahua and he gave it to me. That was my first pet. His name was Pequeñín, but my mother changed his name to Peneco. Yesterday, Peneco, he turned 12 years with me.
3 months ago, I went to Guadalajara with my mother for 5 days. We went by bus at night and we arrived in the morning of the next day. And there we meet with my uncle Tony and my aunt Rosie. They are very funny. At the beginning, I was nervous since I didn't know anyone, but I met a lot of my mother's family who lived there in Guadalajara, and they were very kind, like their cousins, uncles, nephews. The first day they all took used to it. We also went to many very beautiful places, such as the ravine, the lake of Chapala, Mezcala, and also Tequila. During the days we were there every morning, we went to run to the ravine. The day we were going to return to Monterrey, I got sick and they had to take me to the hospital. And after a long wait, we left at 5 in the afternoon and the bus left at 6 in the afternoon. And the bus terminals, they are very big. So my mom and I were lost. I got here. We asked many people where to find our bus lines and they all told us different things. After locating yourselves, we had to run to catch the bus signs. We were 10 minutes late and they were about to close the doors.
I went for a walk with my family to Santiago. We went to the El Manzano, and while we were there, we saw many there, and we were also afraid that a bear will come out. We were all laughing because my sister, who fell all the time. Besides, my sister was afraid of the deer that were close together. We entered the cabin, and there was a tarantula, and they were all panicked because we have a phobia. We are one scared but laughing all the time. They took out the tarantula, and we were enjoying the time there until nightfall. My sister and I were so scared to be there because of everything. We were scared. Now we remember it, and it makes us laugh for being so fearful. The next day, we continued laughing at everything that had happened last night. Then we went on. The next day, we continued laughing at everything that had happened last night. Then we went to some waterfalls that are there. It was all very slippery that I fell many times, and everyone made fun of me. But then they also ended up falling. I made a lot of fun because they made fun of me a lot, and I ended up hearing the same thing. Now we remember everything we went through on that walk, and we can't stop laughing. It was all very fun, and I had a great time.
5 years ago or so ago, I always wanted to have a pet. I insisted on my parents every day to let me have one, but they never wanted to. After 3 years, my little sister finally managed to convince me and my parents to have a pet, but they never told her it was a surprise. When they went to pick up the puppy, she was white, very weepy and quite small. I was the only one who wanted her. After spending a month taking care of her at night, my parents began to took care of her, and she no longer needed so much attention. My mom became very fond of her after 3 months and started treating her like her daughter. Today the dog is 2 years old, and in a month she will be 3 years old. Ironically, now we spend it fighting all day. The dog annoys me, and I annoy her. It's interesting how the things change.